Another Saturday morning, just time for another edition of the Remax Magnolia Real Estate Show with myself, Curtis Pope. And this week we have Paul Smith in from the brokerage. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. And of course, you've got a special guest in here too.
Yes, Dan from Statton Rock.
Thanks
for coming, Dan.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
It's great to have you here. I'm sure we're going to have an interesting conversation about what you guys do at Statton Rock, although you've been in before. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a few years. Been in a number of years ago, but I've been in this office before, so.
That's good. Well, and you're no, it's not like you're completely coming in with not knowing what you're doing. You've done it before.
Oh, I'm a pro.
You're a pro. It's not an alien thing to you to have to come in and talk on a radio show.
That's right.
Perfect. All right. Well, Paul, I'm sure you got a lot of questions, so we'll let you get right at her.
Yeah, I guess I'm just interested to hear a bit about Dan, how he got into building and his, how he got started and everything, and specifically modular. I'm really excited to talk about that today.
Yeah, I'm trying to make it quick, but we're 17 years in now to Statton Rock Homes, and we're a custom home builder, and we have recently, in the last probably about 4 years, started looking at housing needs and smaller footprint homes and realizing affordability, that's a big headliner in the news, and trying to figure out what we can do with that. So then we started working towards smaller footprint homes and eventually stepping into the manufactured and modular CSA A277 certified homes. It's basically a BC Building Code factory built home. And now it's a big part of what we do on the daily.
And you're still doing site-built homes, but is it mainly modular now, or?
No, we probably do. We're not a massive custom home builder. We're not doing 20, 30 a year, but we do probably 4 or 5 custom homes a year, and then we do probably we've built over 100 tiny homes now.
Whoa.
So those are your standard tiny homes on wheels. So those are really interesting. And then as far as modular and manufactured, you know what? I don't actually know the number, but we're getting up there in the numbers. So, but it's a big part of the conversation, and sometimes that conversation gets steered with what the budget wants from our clients, what they want it to be. In my career, I used to be able to build a home for, let's say, $400,000, a nice custom home for our clients. But now that home we start the conversation kind of at $1 million, right? Okay. Not everybody has $1 million. So if it's comes down to it, you want to build a home and you just don't have that type of level of budget to do it. Sometimes we steer the conversation and look at manufactured. And, there's some certain stigmas, and I'm sure we'll talk about that we can kind of destigmify some of those things. But a lot of times the conversation just goes back to going, what do you want your end budget to be? And if you want basically a custom home, sometimes we have to look at that factory built manufactured home. So
Cool. And then I guess, some of the myths. So let's start there since you brought it up. Some of the myths.
Yeah. I mean, people often look at, they use the term mobile home, right? So then they automatically put themselves into a mobile home park, which there's some beautiful parks even around here in Abbotsford. But, manufactured homes aren't mobile homes. They're not ugly. They're not put together in a manner that is below code. The homes that we build have to meet or exceed BC Building Code. And right now, BC Building Code is also pushing us on air tightness in our homes. All across BC, we're minimum step 3 of the step code. The step code is just 5 steps basically towards net zero ready. And we need to be net zero ready by 2030. So that's basically a home that's generating as much energy as it consumes and is a net zero built home. So we're building our homes to that standards, very airtight, very efficient. But other myths would be that they're just poor quality inside those homes, that they're different than a conventional home, that they're maybe not sitting on a permanent foundation, that they're not a permanent fixture to the site that they're on, and kind of just junk, I guess. But modular is going to be a big part of the future. There's significant savings, like not only just general cost savings, but waste, time efficiency, like is a huge driver of these things. Like instead of a new home build taking 9 months, we can turn these things around now in, let's say, 3 months. By the time we have a permit in our hands, foundation goes in, modular gets dropped and finished, and
set in 3 months.
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah, because we're building through the permit process. By the time we have a permit in hand, once we're digging the hole and putting the foundation in, we're building that home already in our warehouse, in our factory. So, and it's basically ready to move to site once that foundation's finished and slabs in, backfills in, all those kind of little steps that have to happen during the build process. And we're dragging it to site and craning it on, and that's really the easy part. So
yeah, very cool.
I mean, it's come a long way since, people get that image of their head of 60s and 70s mobile homes getting hit by a tornado in the States and things like that. And that's when people think mobile home. That's the problem. They think of that old school image, not what you guys are creating today.
No, it's not. We're not in Kansas anymore, kind of thing. So these are all structurally engineered seismic hold downs. They're designed to again, the biggest point that I want people to hear is that these are BC Building Code built homes. They're above minimum standard. They're just like your average home that would be, you drive around and see a new subdivision and there's homes being built there. It's the same type of home. So same kind of construction.
Cool. And then, so a lot of your customers lately, what are they looking for? Are these like full-size homes you're getting a lot of inquiries for, or smaller units, or ADUs, or?
Yeah, kind of a lot around that 1,000 to 1,200 square foot footprint. And we do get quite a few ADUs, like people wanting to move, mom into the backyard of their place, and mom doesn't need a big space anymore. She wants something that's going to function really well and be easy for her to maintain. And to avoid the lengthy, dirty, messy construction process where a site built. Maybe I was at a project in White Rock yesterday, actually looking at one of these, and the only way to do it is to do it modular, because there's just not the space to do a site built ADU, which is an accessory dwelling unit.
Was it on the hill? Or steep,
yeah,
and just
steep,
nasty,
and it just like there's all the roads are tight. There's cars parked. You just to turn it into a construction site just isn't going to work. We're going to have to side access the backyard and basically put a foundation in, bring the house there, crane it on, done deal, right?
Cool.
And mom moves in, kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we can do just about any shape and size. There are some limitations. Heights have to be considered. We've had to rodeo a little bit on. Curtis, did you get that? There was a country.
I like that.
We got a rodeo.
This isn't my first rodeo either.
Yeah. We have to once in a while. We have to rodeo a little bit with our heights and logistical problems, but we can move some pretty big homes around. And to be honest with you, weight isn't too much of a consideration. They're not actually that heavy. You'd be surprised that they're compared to what rolls around on the back of semi trucks and stuff like that. But they're not really that heavy. So.
Is there a length you like to keep the units up to a certain length?
We got one on the go right now that's 47 feet long, 14 feet wide.
Okay.
Your average, we see anywhere from 12 to 15 by 40 kind of sections kind of thing. Those are all pretty easy to move around. When we get up above the 60s and stuff like that and go 16 feet wide, then we got to take a little bit more care.
And then there's the crane too at that point, do you? Or?
The cranes that we usually use on site are adequate for kind of that size of thing. And that's really the easy part. You'd be surprised. These cranes we have on site just kind of pluck these things up and swing them onto the foundation, and they're pretty easy to move around within reason. So you got the right equipment and things like that, and it definitely makes it easier. So
cool. I saw one really nice house you had going in Mission. It was 2 pieces. It had a vault in it and 2 big long windows. That was a really nice looking one.
Yeah, that was more of like a Nordic style home. We had to come up with a way to move that thing ahead of time, and it was a over the night move, all permitted, all that kind of
pretty
stuff.
high, was it?
It was tall.
Okay.
Yeah, but we were able to do it legally, and it was close, but once we got that to site, and you know what, even down the driveway that we had to take it down was a winding driveway. It actually only went out to Aldergrove, so it wasn't that far. So, but we did one half one night, nice and sunny and cool. This was earlier this year actually, and then the second night was the last time we had snow. So it was we had some snow on the roads, and but we made it. So, but yeah, that was a beautiful home. I mean, that was just to talk about what that home is like. That was actually about just over 1,000 square feet, but we actually squeaked out 4-bedroom in that home. Whoa. It's a family of.
So it wasn't just 2 boxes; it was
of
more,
5.
Was it?
It was two halves,
Okay.
and it was a 4-bedroom.
Wow.
For a family of 5. It still had a beautiful kitchen, living dining space, 2-bathroom. The master bedroom had the ensuite in it, and as well, and it was actually a really gorgeous home.
Cool.
So definitely one of the higher end homes that we've put out there.
Nice.
So
Nice.
Very nice. Well, with that, we should probably take a quick break. We'll come back in just a couple moments. And, of course, if people want more info on Remax Magnolia, of course, Paul, they can go to remaxmagnoliarealty.com, right?
That's the one, yeah.
I got it memorized. Perfect. We're back with more right after this.